The harbor wall at Caesarea has been underwater for 2,070 years, and it's stronger today than the day it was poured. Think about that. The concrete bridge you drove over this morning? 50-year design life. The Roman seawall has outlived 41 of those bridges, stacked end to end, and it is still hardening. The Pantheon's dome has stood unreinforced for 1,901 years. No rebar, no steel, no replacement. And the formula that built it vanished from the historical record around 476 AD. They didn't lose it. They erased it. Here's what gets me. Modern concrete is a countdown. The moment it cures, it begins to die. Roman marine concrete does the opposite. It heals itself. When seawater cracks the surface, the cracks become the cure. Inside the matrix, a mineral called aluminous tobermerite grows directly inside the fractures. Then phillipsite grows on top of it. Together, they seal the crack, and they make that section 2 to 3 times stronger than the surrounding material. Picture the Hoover Dam getting harder every time it cracked. That is what they built in 27 BC. In 2017, researchers at the University of Utah cut into a 2,000-year-old Roman seawall sample. The interior had crystals that had never been observed forming naturally on Earth in modern times. So let me be clear about what we're saying here. The Romans weren't just better at concrete, they were doing something we cannot replicate. Marie Jackson, geologist, University of Utah, 10 years on Roman marine concrete. Electron microscopes, synchrotron beamlines, the works. And here's her admission on the record. The formula she reconstructed in the lab matched the Roman mineral profile, but it didn't behave the same way. Something was still missing. Until 2023. That's when Admir Masick at MIT published the missing piece. Okay, follow me here because this is the part that broke my brain. For 2,000 years, archaeologists looked at Roman concrete samples and found small white chunks scattered throughout the matrix. They called them lime clasts. They assumed it was contamination, sloppy mixing, careless Roman workers. For 2,000 years, the scientific consensus was that the Romans were making the most durable concrete in human history by accident. Masick's electron microscope proved otherwise. The Romans were adding quicklime on purpose, at high temperatures, using a technique called hot mixing. Those white chunks weren't contamination, they were the entire point. When the concrete cracked, the lime clasts dissolved and resealed the fracture from the inside. For 2,000 years, scientists looked at the most important construction technology in human history and called it a mistake. How does that happen? Who decided we should look at the evidence and call it sloppy work? The Roman architect Vitruvius wrote the recipe down in 30 BC. The text survived. The execution did not. Around 476 AD, the Western Roman Empire collapsed, and within 2 generations, no living person in Europe could pour marine concrete that would outlast a human lifespan. Even today, you cannot buy Roman concrete. No major construction firm offers it. That is not an accident. And Rome wasn't alone. The casing stones of the Great Pyramid were cut to a tolerance of 0.5 millimeters across blocks weighing up to 15 tons. Modern stonemasons with diamond saws cannot match that. The technique disappeared by 2200 BC. The walls of Sacsayhuaman in Peru contain stones weighing up to 200 tons with curves so precise a piece of paper cannot be slid between them. By 1600 AD, no living Inca stonemason knew how it was done. Damascus steel was forged with edges capable of splitting a falling silk scarf. In 2006, metallurgists at Stanford identified carbon nanotubes inside the blade structure. Carbon nanotubes in a blade forged before 1750 AD. The technique disappeared within a single generation. Rome, Egypt, Peru, Syria. 4 civilizations, 4 impossible technologies, all lost within 1 or 2 generations of the knowledge being at its peak. That is not how knowledge dies naturally. Skills decay, they do not vanish. Somebody closed the book 4 times in 4 different places, and the same thing happened every time. Let's talk numbers. The global concrete market is worth roughly $700 billion. Cement and concrete production account for 8% of global carbon emissions. The industry's official answer is that Roman concrete isn't practical for modern construction. It cures too slowly. It can't bond with steel rebar. It can't bear the loads of a skyscraper. And all of that is true. But Roman concrete is perfect for seawalls, perfect for harbor infrastructure, perfect for nuclear waste containment vessels that must outlast every government on Earth, perfect for breakwaters and coastal defenses that we currently rebuild every 50 years at a cost of billions. The technology exists for exactly the structures we cannot afford to let fail. The mineral formula has been in peer-reviewed journals since 2017. MIT's hot mixing breakthrough has been fully documented since 2023. The blueprints to build immortal coastal infrastructure have been open source for years. And yet, no major construction firm has scaled it. No government has mandated research. No infrastructure bill anywhere on Earth has line-itemed Roman concrete production for the applications where it would actually work. They are not refusing to use it everywhere. They are refusing to use it anywhere. When a recipe that solves your industry's largest problem has been on the table for 9 years and nobody picks it up, that is not ignorance. That is a decision. Somebody in every era decided that the public should not have access to materials that outlast the institutions that depend on the public buying replacements. The question is not why we forgot. The question is, who decided we shouldn't know? Vitruvius preserved the formula. Jackson decoded it. Mazik confirmed it. 3 chances, and the construction industry still does not pour it. So if they erased this from us once, and the recipe came back, and they still won't build with it, what else have they erased that hasn't come back yet?